Hey everybody, it's Gary Vaynerchuk from winelibrarytv.com for Get Rich Slowly, which is so true, by the way. It's all about the marathon. So glad to be back. Really appreciate the hospitality here and want to pump out an amazing episode for you. Value. You want to talk about Get Rich Slowly? Look for value plays in wine. If you don't overspend on wine, you got more money in the bank. What I did was I put together a really good kind of mix of 12 different wines that would expand your palate. The reason I started my video blog, winelibrarytv.com, was to get people to try new things. And that's hopefully what we'll accomplish here today for you guys. So let me bring out some of the wines that I've decided. A couple of them I'll taste and most of them I'll talk about. First, let's talk about this wine right here. This is the Domaine de la Loire. It's an 80% Cinsault, 20% Syrah blend, which are red wine grapes, but the skins of those create this rosé. And too many people are scared of the pink stuff. You know, they see it as a white Zinfandel play, sweet juice, not that serious kind of wine. But I'm here to tell you that great dry rosé, and again, this wine rolls in at like $7, is the absolute dream of any kind of springtime play. Brunch, summer, just nice and chilled on your porch, patio, beach wine. Great aromatics from these wines, usually strawberry, candied fruits. Great acid, great complexity. I like the back end of the fruit here. And again, a $7 wine that really drinks like a white wine. So if you're like a Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Grigio fan, these rosés with a different flavor profile, because they give you a little bit of that richness from the red wines, but act like white wines, clean, easy to drink, crisp, and definitely should be thought about, especially wines from the Languedoc, which is where this is from, the southern part of France. Then a couple other white wines I'm really excited about, or see how I even referred to that as a white wine. We have the El Hada Verdejo Viura blend, which is from Spain. Viura, let me make sure you zoom in right here. Really, these are two great varietals, the Verdejo and the Viura. Two white wines that if you've never tried, you should definitely seek out. Again, that's like an $8 bottle of wine. Delightful. Wide distribution, because I know a lot of you are from different parts of the country and the world. What you want to look for is wines from Rueda. If you ever see this is the quick little, if you want to text yourself, this is what you want to find. Wines from this part of the world that I think are quite exceptional. Very excited about those wines. Another wine type that I'm excited about, Vermentino. This is like a $12 play. You can find Vermentino from $7 to $10 a piece. A great alternative to Pinot Grigio. High in acid, goes great with shellfish. Please seek that out. South Africa, Stellenbosch. Sauvignon Blancs. This comes from Beau Jobray. This is a great producer. This is another $8, $9 play. Stellenbosch Sauvignon Blancs are delightful. These are specific wines. I'd love for you to find them, but if you can't, the categories of wines, Vermentino, Viura, and Sauvignon Blanc from Stellenbosch, great alternatives for the Chardonnay and Pinot Grigios and Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand that so many people are drinking every single day. Let's get into a couple of red wines. Love this wine. Pesquier Terraces, widely available from the Rhone and Ventoux area. This is a 70% Grenache, 30% Syrah wine. This always runs in that $10 to $12 to $15 range. Always like a 90-point Parker wine. Great wines. When you get into Grenache and Syrah, Southern Rhone, Southwest France wines, you're just getting tremendous value these days. Little California wine I fell in love with. JT Petite Syrah. This is like an $8 wine. I think Petite Syrah is even bigger and more complex than Syrah. So even though it says Petite Syrah, it's because of the size of grapes, but the flavor profile is bigger, more tannic, very serious wines. Definitely worth seeking out. Beaujolais Village. Beaujolais has a bad brand name because of its, Beaujolais Nouveau play come Easter time, but Beaujolais Village, especially when you get great producers like Corot for like $10, $11, $7, $10, $11, you can get really serious wines, and these are the red wines that you want to pair with fish. Beaujolais is an amazing play with fish, for example. Let's go over here. Barbera. Barbera is a great alternative to Chianti. This is the La Serra Barbera di Alba. From the part of the world that you see Barolo and Barbaresco come from. I'm a huge fan of this wine. $12. Goes really well with a variety of foods, pastas, veal, all that classic Italian fare. It's got high acid for a red wine, great dark cherry flavors, great stuff. Montepulciano. from Forano. This is a great little $8 wine that I'm in love with. You want to talk about pizza wine on a Wednesday, Montepulciano di Abruzzo. Come on, if you just zoom in right here. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There it is, right in front. These wines can be very good values. You know, sometimes they come in a big bottle and they can be junky. You need to navigate through those waters a little careful. But definitely great, great wines. And then Loma Gorda. This is an Old Vines wine from Spain. 65 Grenache, 35% Syrah. Again, a 90-point wine. A very big fan of this wine. You can get this for $10 to $12. And now let's taste a couple of wines. A wine that I'm very excited about. Seidelberg 2006 Pinotage. Pinotage is a blend, which is a clone play between a grafting play actually. Sorry about that. Between Pinot Noir and Cinsault. Very controversial grape. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it. But I think for expanding your palate, $9, especially if you can find this. Most Pinotage between $8 and $15 can be very serviceable. On the sniffy sniff. Great little kind of bacon fat, almost like a banana copper kind of play on the nose. Really interesting. Really interesting. Kind of little meatiness to it, gamey action. Let's give it a whirl. I love that fried banana, hammy, kind of rustic flavor profile from the Seidelberg. Really good wine, good length, good body. Really enjoying this wine. To me, has so many characteristics for a $9 bottle of wine that I just can't believe how much it over-delivers. Very rustic and tannic flavor. Definitely can turn off some people. You know, you've got to have a little hair in your chest. You know, if you're a dude. If you're going to have this wine, it's a very, very serious wine. But for $9, great stuff. And finally, the Barra de Ca. This is Berendikia, 2005 Mendoza. 50 Merlot, 40 Cab, 10 Malbec, and one of the really interesting wines from Argentina, a part of the world that's getting a lot of play now for Malbec, but this little blend of mainly Merlot and Cab with a little bit of Malbec, it's a very inexpensive value wine. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Big cranberry flavors, dark fruit. Let's give it a whirl. Very flavorful, quite explosive, very focused down the mid-palate, goes great with a variety of food, and tastes much better than most $25 California Cab Merlot wines. And that for a $12 wine gets me awfully excited. We'll have links of all these wines down below this video. I hope you go out and explore and expand your palate. Remember, it's 2009. You know, text yourself some of the names. Don't forget them. Try different wines from Argentina and South Africa and the south of France. So much great stuff out there. Hope it gave you a couple of ideas how to mix up your barbecues and summer parties. And, you know, do you see how I said parties? I was like with an accent. Just get out there and try new things. The only way you're going to know if you like a wine is if you taste it. See you next time.